I love playing RPGs, and I always make it a point to try new things every once in a while, which is why I finally got around to playing the absolute hardest RPG to ever exist, Madden 17. That's right, Madden 17. You thought Final Fantasy was never ending? Get this, they release a new Madden game every year. It started out in the early 90s or so, and the first numbered entry was Madden 92. This continued until Madden 99, and then they decided to reboot the whole series by making a prequel, Madden 0, and then continued with Madden 1, 2, 3, and so on. Madden 0 was also the last game to feature John Madden as the main hero, as it has some other dude in every sequel since. And then, just for some extra confusion, while Madden 98 was coming out in the original timeline, there was a Madden 64 in there for good measure. And in the current timeline, out of nowhere, there was Madden 25. Jesus, this convoluted mess of a plot makes Kingdom Hearts look coherent. Anyway, the game is about dozens of armies battling it out in arenas around the country. Before you begin, you're asked to pick one of these armies to lead without even knowing anything about them. Let me give you some advice though. They're all named after different things, and pick the ones that sound tougher than the others. For example, Giants sound way more badass than Patriots. I don't know what the heck a Packer is, so they're probably shit. So I went with Vikings, because they sound rad. Madden is essentially a series of constant battles against the different armies, only with the most unintuitive RPG mechanics I've ever seen. It's really difficult to explain because, quite frankly, even I don't fully understand it. Basically, each side lines up their parties against each other. Only one side has a magic stone that they have control of in a pseudo-active time battle system. They need to get this magic stone from their territory of the arena to the opponent's side, and if it crosses a certain threshold, they'll deal damage. Whoever deals the most damage at the end wins. It gets way more complicated than that. From what I can tell, whoever has the artifact is it, and the other team tries their hardest to attack the person who is it. But the person who is it can hand off or throw the object to make that person it, and then the other team tries to hit him. But the other team wants to be it and tries to take the artifact. And after 4 attempts to attack, if you don't make it far enough, the other team automatically becomes the attacker. Okay, you know what? There's like a million more mechanics that I could never properly explain because the game never explains it for me and I don't understand them. Just look up a wiki later. I'm sure that'll teach you. Which apparently I should have done because I keep playing the game wrong. So badly that in-game enforcers yell at me for it. These guys are basically like the judges from Final Fantasy Tactics. What I don't get is that all the rules that I'm breaking are completely counterintuitive to the gameplay. Of course I'm attempting pass interference. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to let them catch it. Oh, okay, I get it. People like me are supposed to listen to people like you chatter on about this oppression in Madden. It doesn't exist. I'm just trying to play the game as it was explained to me, which for the record was pretty much not at all. I'm just trying my best to defend my shitty yellow castle or whatever, and I keep getting all of these penalties called against me, which frankly is just unfair, because it's like the other teams keep getting away with stuff. The best Packers commit more penalties than the worst Vikings. That's a fact. Yeah, look it up. You know what's really bizarre? The entire time you're playing and battling, there are 2 random dudes doing commentary over the whole thing.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just went a ride there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
This is where we're at in gaming, everybody. Games now do let's plays of themselves. You can select different attack and defense patterns or spells or whatever these are, but there's so freaking many of them with so many different categories and none of them make any sense to me. That's why I just pick whatever random one and then just try to hit whoever is it. And this is harder than it sounds, because this is easily the most complex game I've ever played my entire life. If all those bizarre rules and judges wasn't complicated enough, every single damn button on the controller has like 8 different functions. Sometimes it's catch the thing, sometimes it's swat the thing, sometimes it's dive face forward into the ground, sometimes it's pick a whatever the heck these dots mean. And that was all just on the square button, for the record. Every button on the controller is like that. I honestly have no idea how anyone keeps up in this game without their fingers twisting up with each other. Even more obnoxious is that true to most modern JRPGs, there's a damn cutscene every 30 seconds. Usually it's one literally showing you what just happened over and over. I don't want to miss out on plot, but thank God for the skip button. What is kind of neat is at the end of every attack round, your units gain experience points. So doing things like hitting the guy and pressing whatever button shows up above your head, because I have no idea what an RAC means, gets you more experience for that unit. There's even mini objectives to earn additional experience points. And I actually did okay in my first battle. It was against an army known as the Titans. And even though it was the first fight, it was super hard. In the end, I dealt a total of 10 damage against them, and they only did 7 against me. So I won! And right afterwards, I got to spend those experience points to increase all of my soldiers' stats. And good lord, there's a lot of them! I don't even know what most of these mean, aside from the obvious ones like strength, agility, and how well they drive to work in the morning. My second fight wasn't good. I got my ass beat by those Packer guys. I thought I was doing okay, but once again, I'm pretty sure the game was using artificial difficulty to make them harder. I mean, it wasn't going great, but then I did a thing and managed to get the magic stone dropped to the ground to let my side pick it up at a crucial moment. Only the Packers whined about it so hard that the judges turned the whole thing around and canceled it out. Yep, I get it. The message is clear. We've gotten rid of fumbles in our Madden arenas. If you don't think that was a fumble, you're living in a fantasy land. So naturally, I lost. My general thoughts so far is that the battle system and the controls are way too complex. I don't really care for the hyper-realistic graphics. Frankly, there's too many cutscenes, and weirdly, there's no playable female party members. Now, I usually try to finish games before I talk about them on here, but I'm sorry, I couldn't do that with Madden 17. Because I already got a game over. Apparently I lost so bad that the game said it's game over, and that I would need to start all over if I want to keep playing. Which sucks. Maybe if I try playing as a different faction, it'll go better. Whoa! These guys are already level 49! Sweet!